Hey everybody, good morning. It's your local friendly Mrs. Claus on YouTube. I am coming with you today. I'm trying out this new mic. We'll see how it works. I've had it for a while when I thought of doing podcasts, but never used it. My other mic was definitely not giving what we needed it to, so I brought this thing out of storage. We're going to see how it goes. This will be my first video using it, and again, we'll see how it goes. I may be too far away from it. I'll find that out during the course of this video. But today, we are going to be making little baskets, little Santa baskets. I was tinkering with this pattern over the week. I made two of them. One I made into a purse. The other one I'm just using as like a catch-all basket for when Christmas season gets here. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to make a laundry basket out of it. If you notice, I did not put a handle on this one, but I put a handle on this one to make it a purse. I have not yet added the snaps, but I do have snaps to put in here to make it snap closed and stay closed. So that is one thing you can do with this pattern. Now, these two are round. The one we're going to make today is going to be oval because it's going to be bigger, and I want it to be bigger. So, with that being said, I'm going to put these two to the side. If you guys watched the video making the ornaments, then you'll know how I made the bottoms of these. They're just a circle that gets bigger and bigger as you go. So, I basically just used a circular pattern to make the circular ones. I may show you a part of that later, depending on what I've got left afterwards, because this is going to take a lot of yarn, just because of the way that we're making it. So if you want to work along with us, you absolutely can, and I hope that you do. I'm going to go ahead and set up and focus on the table so you guys can see what we're doing step by step. So I'll be right back when I've got that done, and then we will go from there. Okay, so I'm at the table now, and I'm going to show you everything that we're going to use. Disregard this pile of mess that I have made with this yarn here. This is going to be our gold yarn for making the buckle on the belt. This is the Lion Brand yarn Hometown, and this is in, I think, Madison Mustard. Yes, Madison Mustard. We're going to use that for the buckle. I'm going to go ahead and make that so that it's done, so that all we have to do when we're done is put that on there. So I'm going to zoom you in. We're going to come in to my hands right here, and I will show you how we're going to make that buckle. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to make our slip knot, and we are using a 6mm hook. I didn't tell you what all the other things we were using are. I will list them as we go so that you can see what we're doing there. So for the buckle that I made on these, they're kind of lopsided, and I'm kind of curious if I can make that look better. But we did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. So we did 5 and 7 on each side. I think that's going to be the right size, just like the other one that we did, but we'll see how it comes out. So that is 10 and 14, 24 stitches. So we need to do 24 stitches, or 24 chains. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Get back on there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to do a 25th stitch just so that we have that turning stitch to go in with our single crochets. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to chain 2, then do 7. And we're going to keep going into those chains. So we're going to go into this first chain here. We're going to do a single crochet. then our second single crochet, then our third single crochet, then our fourth, our fifth, then we're going to chain 2. Now mine is bunching up and yours will probably do that too, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's going to turn, it's going to do all kind of crazy stuff until you lay it out. So we did our chain 2. Now we are not going to skip any chains here. We're going to go straight into this next one with a single crochet. That's going to create our corner there. And we're going to do 7 here. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have an impending doom coming in, if you can see that. This thing is all bunched up, so I'm going to pull that out a little bit more so I don't end up with a jumbled mess in front of me. So we've got our 7 in here. Now we're going to chain 2 again. 1, 2. Then we are going to turn and do our 5. 1, 2. Uh-oh. I got all jumbled up, you guys. All right, we're going to go back out of that and then go in with our second one. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then our chain 2. 1, 2. Then we should have 7 left to stitch into. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get in there. 6. There we are. And last one, number 7. Now, on the ones that I made before, I slip stitched before I started doing the single crochets. And I think that's where I was getting all jacked up and all looking all wonky. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the top here, and then I'll do another slip stitch to join these. Or I may just use this tail to join them. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do my chain 2 to create my corner. And I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet. Now we've got this bottom here that we are just going to take with a yarn needle. Let me pull that out so that I can hold on to it. All right, we're going to put this yarn needle on this thing, and we are going to take that bottom and we are going to put it through these bottom parts of these chains, just to kind of hide it a little bit and seal up that bottom. Oh, this is such thick yarn that sometimes it can be hard to get it to pull through like that. But there we are, we have our buckle. I'm going to go ahead and cut this and then weave that into the top, and we can stretch it out and make it look exactly how we want to once we get that done. So let me snip that off and put that to the side because we're done with it. I believe. And I have left my scissors in another room, didn't I? No, I didn't. There's a pair in here. Hang on. I'm chaotic today. There we go. Found my scissors. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so that is done. I can move that yarn out of my way because I'm not going to need it again for any other project today. So it's gone. Now I'm going to weave this end in so that it's not sticking out and giving us anxiety. Because I don't know if it does it to you, but when I have unweaved ends, especially with this big bulky yarn, I just get anxiety that it's going to just look funky when I get done with it. So we're just going to go in and crochet that bad boy in there, weave that in, and then snip off both ends. Yeah. that's a much better looking buckle than the two I made over the weekend. Trying to get it to where I could learn this new pattern that I was etching out to see if I can make it work. All right, that's going to look a lot better than the other one did. So we're going to set this one to the side now. And I'm going to show you how we're going to start this pattern. I'm going to zoom out real quick and show you what yarns we're going to be using for the rest of the project, since I forgot to do that at the beginning. And we'll go from there. So zoom out, not in, Crystal. There we go. All right. So we are starting off with Big Twist Value yarn in red. I believe that it's the color number itself. It's deep red. So we're going to use 2 skeins of that and a skein of the Big Twist Twinkle, also in red. So that's how we're going to start off the project. Then I've got black cakes of just regular black yarn. I made sure I had 3 that were the same kind of intensity. And then we are going to use the Twinkle yarn as well in black. So we're going to be using 3 strands at a time of these yarns to make this blanket, so that, or not blanket, make this basket so that it's good and thick and it'll hold itself up on the sides. The last thing that we're going to use, other than that hometown yarn, is going to be the Bernat Blanket Extra Fluffy in ultra white, I think is the color. This is just white. It just says Blanco. So white it is. Bernat Blanket Extra Fluffy yarn. So we're going to zoom back in a little bit. And I'm going to show you how we're going to start this blanket with the 3 skeins of red yarn. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to find the center pole. And what's great about Big Twist is normally the center pole is easy to get to because they've already got it out. So I'm going to take all 3 skeins and I'm going to set them out where the Twinkle one is in the middle of the other 2, and I'm going to combine the 3 strands into 1. So we're going to be using 3 strands of yarn to make this project. So it'll be nice and thick and it'll be able to stand up on its own. That was why I spent the whole weekend kind of coming up with this pattern, was because I wanted to see how I could make it nice and thick and make it where it would stand up and you wouldn't need to do much to help. So what we're going to start off with is we're doing an oval pattern for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do my slip knot with all 3 strands of yarn. Now, if you didn't want to use 3 strands of yarn and you didn't want to add in a twinkle color like I'm doing, you could do a chunky, bulky yarn like this Bernat Extra Blanket yarn. If you could find a red that you like and a black that you like in those. But I liked this because it adds a little extra oomph to it and it made it a little thicker. And it also made it feel a little more luxurious because of the Twinkle yarn. And honestly, it's not that much more expensive to do it this way. The yarn itself is kind of interesting to work with. It's cheap. These were on sale this weekend for 2 for $5 for the value yarn. So that wasn't too expensive. This was $4 after the 20% off that they had going on right now. So for this portion of it, I'm sure we're probably going to use all 3 of these skeins completely all the way through. But with the black, we may not even use the whole thing of the Twinkle and the other stuff I had on hand. You could use the same Big Twist in the black if you wanted to keep the cost down, especially when they have the 2 for $5 sale on the skeins. So the reason I didn't just do like a pound one for this is because I wanted to use 3 strands, and it's so hard going from the end and the middle on the same skein, if you ask my opinion on that. So anyway, we've made our slip knot. Now I'm going to chain 12. 1, 2, and sometimes the hardest part is the yarn falling off of the hook when you're using more than 1 strand. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, the reason that we did that is because these last 3 are going to be our turning chain So we're going to go down and into the third stitch from the hook, you're going to put a double crochet. So this is going to act as 2 double crochets in that corner. This is what's going to start your oval pattern. And we're going to do double crochets till we get to the last little opening here, and then we'll do 2 in that corner. So that's going to leave us with, I think that should be 10. We'll see, or not 10. It should be 7 or 8. 2. I dropped a piece of yarn. 2. 3. 4. And I'm trying to do this from an overhead look that shows you from my perspective how I'm doing it, because that way it'll be easier for you to understand what I'm doing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it is going to be 8 double crochets before you get to the corner stitch. All right, this is number 8 here. And then in that last little chain where we had our slip knot, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So 1, 2. Now we're going to work down the other side of that chain. Is what we're going to do. So we are going to, I'm going to stretch it out a little bit so you can see the other half or the other side of that. So in this first little stitch right here of the chain, we're going to do 2 double crochets. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that tail that we were left with into this side so that it's kind of seamless and it doesn't look like we actually made a seam. So I'm going to go in, I need to loop on my hook. Loop on, go in to that first one, tuck that down underneath it, and do our double crochet. 1 and 2. Not a half, Crystal, a double. All right, so we've got that those 4 stitches in that corner loop. So now we're going to work back. We're going to do our 8 double crochets, then we're going to put 2 in the other corner. All right, so that's 1. Now, if you see what I'm doing here, let me see if I can get close enough. Burp, burp. This is just the other half of that chain. We're working in the same spot on the other half of the chain. So there's only going to be one little loop that you see to stick your hook through, because you already worked through the other half of that chain. Four. 5. Now, bear with me because I have never worked in an oval before. So this one might trip me up and I might get a little confused because I just looked at at a pattern for an oval online, and this is what I saw. So let's hope it doesn't get too hinky. All right, let's see. Here's our corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 2 more. 7, 8, and then 2 into this last little stitch here. 1, 2. If I can get the second one to work out. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to slip stitch into the third little, we've got 1, 2, This should be the top of our chain 3 that we used as our first double crochet. So as you can tell, I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting through there, but that's okay. And we have an oval. So we're going to chain 3 again, and we're just going to work it like this. We're going to keep going around. So I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to do a double crochet into that same little slip where we slip stitched. Then I'm going to do 2 into the next double crochet. That's going to be 1 and 2. And then we should be able to do, I think, 10 across. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, it's going to be 8 again. So we're going to do 8 single crochet or double crochets the whole way across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 'Let me get back into that 6, 7, 8, 'All right, and then let's see. So we're going to do, yeah, 8's right. Yep. Okay. So basically the way that it's going to work out is we're going to do 8 on each side, and in the corners, we're going to be doing our increases there. So instead of just doing 2 double crochets into one stitch or the other, we're going to be putting double, 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 double. So we've got 2 doubles, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, and 2 doubles on the corner to make it round. So we're going to go in and do 1. Grab a hold. 2. Now, I probably should have used the 7mm hook on this one instead of a 6mm, but I wanted to do it kind of tight so that it was nice and weaved together. So that's our second increase. This will be our third increase. 1. As you can see, because I'm using a 6mm, I keep losing track of the yarn because I'm trying to do it fast and I'm doing it farther away from my body than I normally would. So that is something that I find very fascinating, how different it is when you are crocheting closer to the body, how different it feels. Okay, so we should be able to come in and do 8 on this side and then 2, 2, and 2 because we already did our first 2. So let's see if that works out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, does that leave us with 3 stitches? It does. Okay, so we're going to do our increase 2, 2, and 2 because we've already got these 2 in this one stitch. So again, this is my first time doing an oval, So it's going to be a little different for me than I'm used to. Because when I made the pattern, you guys, I'm so mad. My computer died because fantasy football apparently is more important than me using my computer for my job. It did not get charged last night. And so when I got to the end here of this last row, it cut off. So let me tell you what I've done so far. So we got to the end of that last row, we did our slip stitch. We did our chain 3 and our double crochet into that same stitch to make our increase like we should right there. Then we put 2 more increases in on this side. So we should have 6 stitches right here from the chain 3. That's our one double crochet. Then we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we do our 8. Then we're going to do 8 increases into this corner or this side. So that'll end up being 16 stitches before we do our next 8. So that's where we're at. We're on this corner doing these increases. And now my computer's not going to die because it's plugged in properly this time. Anyway, so yeah, fantasy football is going to mess up this video. That's okay. I'm going to call him out on it and he'll know it when he watches the video. All right. So in order to do that, again, we're going to do the 8 increases. On the next one, it'll be 16 increases. Just so you know, in case we get lost again. But we're sticking with the same 8 stitches down the side and just increasing on the circles on the outside to make it an oval. All right. And I think looking at it, we're going to have to do probably 4, maybe 5 more rows after this one to get it the size that I want it to be. But we'll see once we get there. And I hope you're still with me. I hope I haven't lost you. And if you need to, by all means, fast forward through this part if you don't want to hang around for the getting to know you part of this pattern, since I'm creating it on the fly as we go. All right, so we're at the end of this where the increases were last time. Now we're going to do our 8 stitches across and come back to these last couple of increases. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to be the best part of this whole pattern, is just the 8s. Because I feel like after this, it's going to get hairy trying to remember how many stitches we need to increase on the side. All right. So a telltale to know that you're coming up on the increase is seeing the 2 double crochets into 1 double crochet. That's how you know those are the ones you need to go 2 into the top of. So since we did 6 over here, we're going to end up doing 10 double crochets in these next 5 stitches. There should be 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6, 7. What did I do wrong? Oh no, did I mess something up? What have I done? Now I'm confused. Oh, I see where I messed up, I think. No, that's a double into that. Okay, let's count how many we have here then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have 8 here? We should have 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is there a 9th there? No, that's 8. Where did I mess up? I don't know. Okay, we're going to figure this out. As I stare at it, not knowing what I'm doing. I think we're going to wing it. I think we're going to wing it from here. Because on this side, it still did come out a little funky. All right, let's see. How many do we have here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we have 10 on this side and 8 on this side. That's how we messed up. Okay. Maybe we go with it. We do one. How did I do that? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Okay. We're going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. We're going to go with our off numbers. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to put 9 here, and then I'm going to do the rest of my increases. Two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we'll see if it looks wonky when we get done with it. 1. In the comments, tell me where I went wrong. If you guys have worked in ovals before, tell me where I went wrong here. I'm trying something new. I've never done an oval before, so like I said, you're getting to see me experiment with something new live. Well, not technically live, but as live as it's gonna get on this. All right, let's see how many double crochets we have here. So this was an increase. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's right. I just had to put an extra stitch in here. All right, let's see if it works out that way on the next one, the next round. All right, we slip stitch into right here. 1, 2, 3. Then back into that one for a second increase, or for the increase. And then we've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches this way. Again, those are increases, so that's 5 increases. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we've got our 10 stitches that were all like 5 increases basically. Now we're going to do our 8 across again and pray we don't have to add another stitch on the next row or the next side of this row. 2, I don't want my oblong to get abnormally shaped. 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 8. I lost track in the middle. All right. All right, we've got our 8 there. So now we're going to do our 32, which is 16 increases around this corner. And see what that looks like when we get done. 2. And the reason I wanted to start trying to do ovals is because I saw this cute little bath mat that's a dog bone and with the dog latched onto it. And I thought, oh my God, I think I want to make that. And I was trying to figure out how to make it. And I'm like, well, I know I need to make an oval and then put 2 circles on the ends of the oval, kind of, to make the bone shape. But we'll see if I like this when I'm done and how much I need to do to make it, or what I need to do to make it. I like the way that using these 3 pieces of yarn makes it so bulky and thick, because it's going to hold up really well to having weight in it. So as you see, we are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to look really cool once we get it going and get it as big as we want it. Nope, I already did. Nope, I only did 1 in that one. Okay, got to do another one in this one. And if my commentary, you guys, is just a little crazy, I'm sorry. Normally I would cut out the video and just keep working, but I feel like that would be doing you guys an injustice since I am figuring it out as I go. And if I'm not telling you exactly what I'm doing while I do it, then how are you going to know that I did it exactly how I told you I did it, right? Maybe. Who knows? All right. Making sure that I make my way around, make it look exactly how I want it to look. But it would appear that we are adding an inch with every row. And considering I want it to be roughly, let's see, I want it to be about this wide by like this long. I don't know if you can see that off camera. I think I'm zoomed in too much for that, but we shall see. I've got 1 more increase to do. Nope, 3 more increases to do. Again, losing track of what I'm doing because I'm distracting myself. Welcome to Mrs. Claus's ADHD hot mess. Because I got the ADHD and it is messing with my brain today. Hook on. There we go. one more of the increase stitches. Boom. Okay. That looks about right. I should be coming up on my 8 or 9 on this side. I have got to clip that off. That keeps catching on stuff. So let's see. Increases. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 2. 32. That should be right. And on this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So by the time we get over here, we should be able to put 20 more in and be exactly where we need to be. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to have to put 9 on this side. I don't know how we got off by a full stitch on the back side, but that's what it is. And that's what we're going to have to do to make it work out. 4, 5, 6. No, get back through there. 7, 8, 9. Now let's see if that's what the problem is. Let me count my stitches originally. All right, we started off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, that's what it was. I think. Okay, there's 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there's only 8 there. So how we ended up having to have 9 from here, I don't know. But it worked out that way. So now we finish our increases, these last 20 stitches on this row. And then the next row is going to have 64 in each corner. And 8 on one side and 9 on the other. Should work out that way. I gotta look up every now and then to make sure we're still recording, because for some reason, like I said, my computer died during the last little clip, and I looked up and all of a sudden it was dead, and I'm like, oh no, did we lose the whole video? We didn't. We just lost like a half a row of filming. So lucky us, lucky us. All right. We're coming up on the end of this row. And we'll look and see how big she is. And I know we're at least going to do 2 more rows. But we'll see if we need to do 3 or 4 to get it the size we want it. Now, again, this can be adjusted. You could leave it at this size and just have yourself like a little basket to put stuff in. Just a little basket. Or you can continue to go big or go home like I'm doing. We're going to go big. All right, go in there, slip stitch. All right. I mean, let's see what size we have going on right now. All right, break out our tape measure. And right now we have a 10-inch by 6-inch oval. Let me roll up my sleeves a little bit. I'm getting a little warm in here. All right, we got a 10-inch by 6-inch, and I'm thinking I'm going to want to go for a 14 by 10 if we can. I think we have enough yarn for that. I think we're at least going to get that big. If not, a 20 by 14 would be nice. If that's how it's going to work out. We'll find out once we get to the other side of it. So we're going to do these next 2 rows. And I'm not going to count it out for you on the screen this time. Just know that you need 64 stitches in each of your corners, and then you're 8 on one side, 9 on the other. Unless yours worked out to where you have 8 and 8. Just know that the corner needs to be 64 on this one, and that the next one will be, holy moly, 128 stitches in the corner or on the side. So 64 increases. And if I can speed this up in my software, I will speed up this section of the video so that it doesn't take you forever to get through it just watching it. That way, if you're a faster crocheter than I am, or you're using less strands of yarn than I am, so it doesn't take you as long, you can just speed through. Again, the 3 strands. It's making it crazy. Honestly, I'm not going to speed through because I think that's going to make it warble a little bit if we go too much into that. So we're not going to do the 64. Once we get to this 4th row, what we're going to do is where these increases are. Okay, once we get to this 4th row is when it starts getting a little crazy to keep doing just the increases, or doing the increases and then keeping this shape. So what I think we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 7 increases, and then we're going to crochet over. And let's see. We're going to, in the first 2 increases over here, we're just going to do single crochets instead of increasing, or single double crochets, not increases. So 2, 3, 4. This is probably going to end up being, what's that? 4 and 4 and 8 is going to be 16 stitches across. Because it was starting to look like it was going to like get wavy on the end. So we're going to try this and see if that helps it. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. There we go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That should do it to get it to straighten out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So I'm going to now do the increases all the way around until I get to the last 2 increases we did here, and just do singles all the way across. Yeah. That should work it out. At least a little bit. And 2, so we aren't going to be doing 64. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 11, 12. So that's 6 increases. Let's see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, we're going to do 24 increases the whole way around there. So that should leave us with 48 stitches there. And then I think this is going to be my last row because it's getting to the point where I'm kind of frustrated with it and I don't want to put it away and never pick it back up. So it may not end up being a laundry basket after all. So if you watched this thinking you were getting a laundry basket, I'm going to have to rename it when I put it on the interwebs. It's just going to be a Santa basket. So we'll see how it works. And again, I may show you guys at the end the circular bottom that I did for this, for the other 2 baskets. Because once we get past this bottom part where we're making the bottom, it's super easy from there because it's just going to be double crochets the whole way around from the bottom to the top. And then we're going to change a color, change it back, and go all the way around the top. So I think I see where the problem is. Again, we're just going to go with it. Because eventually this is going to be the bottom. It's going to be like where it sits. So it being a little warbly right here is okay. I think it's a little too warbly. Maybe. If we stretch it out, because that's what I'm gonna do is stretch it out. Maybe if we stretch it out, it won't be so wiggly on the edge there. Okay. Let's just get through this row, see what it looks like, and come back to it. This is the issue with doing anything on the fly, just making it up as you go. You know? You got to adjust things every now and then. I know that my problem is definitely that I'm doing nothing but double crochets here, and that's making it kind of ribbon up a little bit instead of doing a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. I think that's our issue. All right, I'm frogging. I'm frogging, you guys. Watch me frog. So if you got to this point, just know I'm going to put in a disclaimer halfway through that says, hey, watch this only if you want problems. I may just cut this part out of the video. We'll see. All right, so we're going back to our chain 3 here. And then we're going to skip to the next one and do an increase. So we're only going to increase every other stitch this time on the corners and see if that helps. If I did cut it out, we're doing this because it was kind of wiggling a little bit as we went around. So I wanted to make it more flat. So we are doing a one double crochet and then a double crochet increase into the next. So we're doing that until we get back to our 8. 1, 1, 2. This should work it out to where it will do what I need it to do. Yeah, it's already starting to look better. All right, so 1 here and then a double. And then 1 and an increase. Okay. Did I pull it way off of camera where you couldn't see what I was doing? My bad. I'm sorry. I was pulling it closer to me so I could concentrate on it better. Okay, that's already looking better. So what we're going to do is, because we have 1 stitch left in this increase, that means we're going to have to do an extra one on our 8. So this time we're going to do an extra one on each end. So it'll be 10 across this way. 10 double crochets across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now we're going to follow that same pattern and we're going to do a single double crochet, then an increase, single double crochet, increase, single double crochet, increase the whole way around. So we're actually going to end up with one more extra right here. So that's 11 instead of 10. 11, and then we do our increase. Then 1 double crochet, then an increase. Then 1 double crochet, already making a huge difference. Okay, then an increase. Double, then an increase. All right, we're going to continue this pattern all the way around, and then we'll see what she looks like. Well, not all the way around, just till we get to the other side of the corner. Again, showing you in real time exactly how I mess up and how I fix it. And if you're following along exactly, just remember frogging is a part of life. And if you're ever going to create your own patterns, you're definitely going to learn how to do it and how to live with it. And all you're doing is pulling it right back out. So I'm sorry about that, like 10 minutes I feel like I wasted of your time. But I feel like it's important to show that when you're doing something like this. And then increase. And this may be as big as I make this basket. We'll see when I get this row done, how I feel about it. Again, just getting stuck in my head. All right. It was still trying to wave a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna live with it. I hate when I do that. Just pull it off the hook, Crystal. Just pull it off the hook. And yes, you've got Cricket claws. Cricket is my nickname. So you'll hear me call myself Crystal all the time. That is my real name. But I prefer to go by Cricket. I just call myself Crystal when I'm mad at myself. So just keep that in mind. Almost like my mother when she's mad at me. Grab it. That is an increase one. Didn't grab all the yarn that time. Yes. I know. I'm dragging it out. It seems like it's going to take forever for me to get done with this one, but we're almost there. We're almost there. Increase. All right. Now let's see where we have here. Single. Yeah. Increase. Then we're going to do 11 across again. And that should lead us to our finish of this row. 2. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, that should get us back to where we need to start our corner again. All right. 11. It was 11, wasn't it? Yeah. It was 11. Okay. All right. Now we're going to stick with the 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2 the rest of the way out. So 1, 2, because that 11 was our 1, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2. This is the last bit of increasing that we're doing here. Everything else is going to be just single double crochets the rest of the way. Then, yep, that's the second one of that too. Okay, we only have a few more stitches to go. Then I'll show you the next part where it starts to get easier. And when I did the circle part for the circular baskets, it was so much easier because it's just, you know, you do 16 double crochets into a magic circle, and then you slip stitch those together, chain 3, and do increases into every single stitch on the first or the second row, and then on the third row you do 1 double crochet, then an increase, then 1 double crochet and an increase like we're doing right here. Then on the third one it's 2 double crochets, then an increase, and 2 double crochets, then an increase. So that's the difference in the circular bottom and this oblong bottom, which the oblong bottom is starting to be the bane of my existence. I am hating the fact that I chose this. So just keep that in mind. You may want to go with a round bottom instead. The round bottom is so much easier. 1. Okay. There we go. We're going to slip stitch together and start the next section. So for this next part, we are going to go ahead and chain 3 from our slip stitch. Then we are going to back loop only double crochet all the way around. So we're going to go right into that back loop, only into the back loop of our stitches. This is going to be what makes it stand up. So back loop only, double crochet the whole way around. I won't bore you with that part. I'll be right back when I'm done with it. All right, I'm coming up on the last few stitches of this back loop only double crochet row. It is the only row we're going to do like that, but you'll see why in just a minute, and it is for a good reason. Let me get this last 2 stitches done, and I'll show you what that reason is. Because if you don't know, now you know. This is how you make a little ridge on the bottom. See this little row right here where it's just kind of sticking up? You still have this little ridge all the way around. That is what's going to make the basket turn up as we go along. So now we have that done, and it's going to look a little, again, warbly right now until we get this put together and we do the next few rows. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of our chain 3 there, and then we are going to do 4 rows of just regular double crochet the whole way around, both ways or both times. So chain 3 for our first double crochet, go into the next, the top of the next double crochet, go into the next double crochet, doing the whole top each time the whole way around, then slip stitching, joining, and starting your next row. And we're going to do those 4 rows and then meet me back here and we'll go into the black. All right, I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, now that we've done, this was our back loop only row, and then we got 4 more rows in here, and it's starting to really make that basket shape that we're looking for. So I think since this looks so short in the front and on the sides, I'm going to go 2 more rows before we change colors. So I will do those 2 rows off camera, and I'll come back when we add the black. BRB. No, do what I'm telling you to do. All right, so you can't really see the sparkle on this thing in here today, can you? Not on the video. It doesn't really look like it, but I'll have to look at it when I play it back. But here we are, ready to start the next section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn cakes of black that I have set to the side, and I am going to grab 2 strands of the flat black and another strand of the shimmery or twinkle yarn, as they called it at Big Twist. And I am going to take those and I'm going to add them to this project. So when we got to the end of our 6th row of double crochets, instead of slip stitching through there with the red to close it, I'm going to add the black and I'm going to slip stitch with the black into there. That way I'm color changing without making a really weird seam. So I'm going to keep that black pulled tight, and I'm going to go ahead and chain the first chain 3 of the next row. Then I'm going to go around and do 2 rows of double crochets. Now I am tucking in the tails here for the red and the black so that they're hidden within our crochet and we don't have to weave those ends in later after we're done. It's not easy to hold back those 6 strings of yarn that we've got going on there, but it is going to be easier than trying to weave that stuff in at the end. So I'm going to pull them tight so that our stitches stay together and that we don't have that going on. And then once I get to the end of the black, I'm going to snip the red off where it's even with the black there, and we'll be done with the color there. All right, like I said, we're going to do 2 rows of this black. I'll show you how I'm going to finish that little bit off with the yarn so that we don't have to sew it in. All right, we have run out of our tail on our black. What I'm going to do now is just snip right here and hold these 3 together because we're going to come right back to them as soon as we get our 2 rows done. So now finish out your 2 rows of black and I will see you when we're done with that. All right, so we've got our 2nd row of black on there. So we have 2 whole rows. Now we're going to switch back to the red, which shouldn't be hard because I tried to keep it together when I took it apart from the last one. We're going to do the same thing that we just did. We're going to take the red and we're going to put the black back here. take the red, do our slip stitch in the red yarn, and then work it through your double crochets until you run out of tail while we weave this bad boy through here so we don't have to sew it all in together at the end. All right. Now, don't mind the Joann's bag over here. It's over here for a reason, but we're keeping our buckle right there too. So we're going to hold our red yarn. We're going to chain our 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Then we are going to continue our double crochets all the way around, carefully tucking in that tail as we go. And trimming off the black excess when we get to the end of our red tail. All right, we're at the end of our red tail. I'm going to pull it out a little bit more just to tighten it up. And then we're going to snip. All right, well, that is all that we're using of the black. So we're going to finish this red part out. We're going to do 3 rows of the double crochets in the red. And then when you're done with that, meet me back for the fluffy bit at the top. See you guys soon. All right, she really is taking shape. I'm going to zoom out some so we can see what we're working with now. Get that out of the way. We don't want to see that. All right. We sure do have a big old little basket bag type thing coming on here. Now, if you look, I mean, it could be a basket, it could be a bag, however you want to make it. So what we're going to do now is we are going to come over here where we have our yarn, and we are going to take our white blanket yarn. Now, I spent forever on the other one that I had trying to find the center pole on this bad boy. And I could not get it to work on the last one that I used. So now, I don't think I'm going to do that again. Because I ended up just working from the outside because it was just so impossible trying to find a center pole on this bad boy. So we're going to take this off. We're going to find the end of it. Look, we've got that yarn just sticking out there, taking up space. Anyway. So first thing that I'm going to do with this white yarn, I'm going to unravel it some so that I have some to work with since it's so hard with that skein being the way it is. All right, we're going to take our little tail just like we did with the other ones. We're going to slip stitch with this stuff, and you only need 1 strand of the white yarn because it is the thick extra stuff. All right. Then I am going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, do my double crochet into the next stitch. And this stuff is so thick. My gourd. Okay. Then I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to just do the double crochet for now until I reach the end of my white yarn tail so that I can do the next part first before we put away the red yarn for good. So I think 2 more stitches and we'll have it done on that part. All right. Yeah, there we go. Now we're at the end of our little white tail there. We can trim off the red. Boom. All right, and I'm leaving my hook in there, but I'm going to flatten out my basket on its side and figure out where we're going to put our buckle for our Santa belt. So now that we've got it on its side, this is about where our yarn starts. So that's about half folded in half. So we want to take our buckle, find out where the halfway mark is on here. We're going to take a single strand of our red yarn and put it on a yarn needle. Then I'm going to pull out about 3 feet, tie it off or cut it off, and we're going to start at the corner. We're going to come in and pull one thing of our yarn up, maybe 2, and go into the back loop of our single crochet. Then we're going to go through and do this the whole way across on that back loop only, pulling up a front post or 2 on a single or on the double crochets behind it, and then back loop only. This way it kind of hides our yarn as we go through, but also doesn't mess up our buckle. So I'm going to continue to do that, but that way it also doesn't show through on the backing of our bag or basket, whichever one you want to call it. It doesn't like poke through and show where we sewed it on. All right, and then I'm going to turn it a little bit so I can easier see what I'm doing on this side. We're going to go in, grab a post, and I'm doing it in, like I said, in the front post only so that we can keep track of where we're at on this bad boy. And so we don't mess up our inside and hide the stitches. So it kind of looks like it's magic. Or at least I like to think it looks like magic, which is why we're using the red thread, even though we're going to go across on the black. And I'm only sewing the outside of it. I'm not going to sew the front of it down or the middle of it down. I don't think that's necessary. But I'm sewing this on here so that it looks right. And again, this applique buckle that I made looks a lot better than the ones I made over the weekend when I was winging it. Just trying to come up with new patterns for you guys. I want you guys to be proud of your work, and I want you guys to do like me, experiment a little bit. If you like some of my patterns, but you're like, I don't think I want to do it like this, by all means, experiment a little bit and see what you like in your own craft. If you don't like the candles that I make, you don't like the way that I do it, like when I make my candles, I use those Dollar Tree candles to kind of keep the cost down. But if you wanted to use beeswax on those, you absolutely could. You could go get a beeswax candle making kit and do that, or go get higher quality ingredients for your candles if you wanted to. It's not necessary unless you want it to be. Now, I'm going to tie this off together, and I'm going to try to hide that under my buckle. Oh, it helps if I do it correctly. I'm going to try to hide that under my buckle, the tails of it anyway. So I'm going to come behind the buckle with this tail, cut it off back there. Then I'm going to take my needle and And actually, I don't even have to take the needle to do it. I left enough space where I could just shove it through there and cut it off once again. All right, so our buckle is on there. One last thing to do. Now we just have to finish off the 2 rows of this white stuff and our basket will be done. I will be doing an optional handle at the end, so we definitely want to do that. So go ahead and do your 2 rows of this cottony billowy blanket yarn, and I will see you back when we're done with that. Okay, so I'm popping back in to let you guys know I'm only doing 1 row of the white. The reason I'm only doing 1 row of the white is because this bag, unlike the other 2, since it is so much bigger, the walls of the bag or basket are not holding up as structurally as the other ones did. Because the other ones, I mean, this one holds itself up and doesn't buckle under the weight of the yarn. But because of how thick this yarn is, this bigger one is buckling under the weight of the bigger yarn. So we're just going to leave the one, we're going to do the 1 row and call it a day on that one. I am going to show you how to do handles for this one, because we're going to do a couple of small handles on either side, like a small handle on either side of it. I'm almost done with this row, and I think she's coming out perfect. I think she is gorgeous. Isn't that adorable? All right, once we put the handle on it, once I get to the point where I'm going to put the handle on it, I'll be back and we'll start this process. Okay, we finished that row. I'm going to try to pull this through here from our slip stitch. We just need enough of a tail to weave that in and not end up undoing all of our crochet. So I'm going to use my crochet hook to weave this in, because it will not fit in my needle for my yarn needle. So we're just going to get this in here any way that we can. But we do that because we don't want our end to come loose and then unravel all of it. So we're going to get that in there, get that done, and then we'll make a couple of little handles. One more little flip through. Let's see, right there. Bam. All right, pull it out. And then we've got our little basket. Now I'm going to make 2 handles, and we're going to attach them right here. I just wanted to make sure I had them kind of centered. So for our handles, this is going to be super easy just because I already made them for the other bag over the weekend, and it is plenty hefty enough to hold this bad boy. If I can get my slip knot on here tight. This stuff is so thick, it's hard to make a slip knot and get it tightened up, because it's kind of almost a chenille yarn. There we go. So all we're going to do is chain like 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe 20. Let's go 20. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then we are going to pull off a tail, trim. Then that leaves us 2 little tails to weave in to our basket. So what I'm going to do is on this tail here, I'm going to pull the end of it through, kind of just tie it in a knot, and then we're going to go to the same spot on the other side poke through, pull the other tail through, tie it in a knot if we have enough of a tail. All right, and then we are going to weave those ends into our basket. Boom, 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 and that way you don't see it. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side with another 20 chain little loop. Let me get this one finished, and then I'll be back with the finished product momentarily. So here are our bags. These are the ones I made over the weekend so that I could make the pattern, and this is our bad boy that we made today. Now, I love this little purse one. I cannot wait to wear it out during Christmas season. This one is going to my mom. It's so cute. The little handles, they're going to hold so well. It is a little more flimsy than the other two, and I think it's just because it is so much bigger that the arms of it don't stay up as well as the other little sacks do. So I am super stoked at how these came out. I love them, and I hope you love them too. If you try them, don't forget to tag me or put a picture of it on my YouTube in the comments, or send it to my Instagram, which I will have linked to my page at some point. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like and leave a comment, subscribe, whatever you need to do. This is going to be what we do. Just fun little projects like this randomly. I think the next one that I'm going to record is going to be a couple of small ornaments that are easy to make so that we can fill our Christmas trees with crocheted ornaments this year. Crochet's in, crochet's hot. Maybe you need to make some stuff for a Christmas market coming up that you need to sell at. So we're going to do a couple more. I already did a video with the 3, this one, that one, and this bad boy right here in it. I think we're going to do at least 3 more and get those going so that you can start selling those when your holiday markets open up. So if you guys are interested in this was a pattern I just made up myself. So this one was a on the fly as you go type thing. So don't forget to like it. Put this video in your favorites if you want to make this again, or if you want to make this yourself. I'm going to enjoy these. Again, this one is going to be one of my purses for Christmas. This one is going to be like, I'm debating on whether or not I want to make it a trash can decoration for like the bathroom trash can. Set that down in there. But probably not, because I don't want it to get dirty, because this was so cute to make. Cost estimate on how much it would cost to make one of these. That's really important. A lot of people don't realize how much it costs to make things. Unless you are a crafter, and then you know this stuff is expensive. To make this basket, the one that we made today, I used 2 thirds of 2 red skeins and 2/3 of the red sparkle skein. The black, barely used any of it, but for costs, we're going to include the skeins on there. So if you look at the price of the value yarn when it's not on sale, you need 2 skeins of black, 2 skeins of red, a skein of the black sparkly twinkle yarn, a skein of the red twinkle yarn. So we're looking at, the value ones are $4.99 a piece at Joann right now. They're on sale for 2 for $5, but right now, if you're looking at full price, what it would cost you, you're looking at 4 of those, so that's $20. Then the sparkle yarn I think is $6.50, and you need 2 of those. So that's another $12. You're looking at $32. And then this white yarn is $11.99 full price. Like I said, I got all of this on sale. And then the Heartland yarn is usually about $6 a skein for that. So all in all together, if you already own the hooks and you don't have these skeins or this yarn just sitting in your yarn stash waiting to be used, it should cost you about $40 to make. Now that I think about how much I spent on it, I'm like, what? I did that? But yeah, it's about $40 to make one of these, and it took me 4 hours to make all together. So for the bigger one, 4 hours, $40, price those accordingly. If you're gonna sell it once you make it. This one took me about 3 hours to make, and it took about half the supplies, maybe less than that. As a matter of fact, in what I spent making this one, I made both of these and still had a half a skein left over of everything. So if you're looking to make these, just keep that in mind. For about $40, you could probably make all 3 and still have some yarn left over. So with this one, I just took the chain and chained all the way until it was long enough to make it a purse. So that keep that in mind if you want to make a handle. This yarn is so thick and so bulky, it's holding all together without a problem. So I hope you guys make this. I hope you like this video, and y'all have a great day. Bye.